Sure. Renee, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are
Can
you?
we get, first of all, the team news for the Chelsea game?
Yeah, so Emily Fox is back available. Leah and Chloe are progressing really well, but won't be available tomorrow.
Damaging defeat, I guess, during the midweek to Toulouse in the semi-finals to Manchester United. Have you had to lift the players at all? What's the mood been like?
It was a frustrating night because we do so many things so well. Playing to the circumstances, the way we build our attacks, getting into the final third. It's about moments that game that impact, of course, that the goal that they score, and the red card doesn't make it easier for us. But then we are still creating, so it was frustrating for us. But the way the players came back in the next day, you're always sitting there, and I have my own thoughts and emotions, and I try to stay objective. And then the players come in, and you don't know in what way they come in. But yeah, and I think I've said it before, also here in press conferences. But the way the players deal with adversity, and I think. This yesterday was the best I've seen it so far. So we're growing as a team in that regards. We have been performing well apart from scoring since coming back in January. So we have to look at the positives, and we've been really good and constructive and honest and solution based on the final thing that we need to get right. It's scoring the goals. So no, the players have been amazing, and we had a good training session today as well.
You mentioned the red card. How is Olivia Smith, and can you give us an insight into the conversations you've had since that game?
Yeah, tough learnings. It's a tough learning for her. She's the type of player, plays on the edge. That's her super strength, and it causes a lot of issues for opposition. I think she take some knocks in games, and that's not always easy for her, but it's her style of play, so that's what we spoke about. You need to accept the way you're playing and take the knocks as well, if that's the way you play. I think, of course, it is hard for her because opposition goes really tough on her, and in all possible ways, not only physical. And that got to her a little bit, and that's when she took the second yellow, and it's tough. She's of course not available tomorrow because of that, so it's a very tough learning for her. What we said is we need to learn, and these days that you're not available, you do everything you possibly can to support the team and to maximize your days when you can't be with the squad to become a better player.
Just final one for me. It doesn't get much tougher than the fixture that you've got away at Chelsea, but is it in some ways a really good fixture, almost a perfect fixture to try and bounce back in?
I think, like I just said, the performances have been good, so we have belief, and the players play with confidence in that sense. I believe in the players and what they're doing. So I think it's a good moment, and we always love to play these big games. The players rise to the occasion, and we know the task tomorrow. We want to win. We need to win. We need points, and that's in one way it creates clarity in what we want to achieve and what we're going after tomorrow.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Renie, I was first of all going to get your assessment of the Chelsea women that you face tomorrow.
Yeah, of course, a team that has been winning trophies over a long time, with Emma and now with Sonia as well, and a lot of winners in that team, I think. So they're a good team. They can do different things. They can set up in different ways. They have threats, definitely, that we need to manage in a really good way. So it's two top teams going against each other. If the two games I've coached against Chelsea, it's a close game at Stamford Bridge with a late goal, and it's the 1-1 game. So both games are very close, and that's what we're expecting tomorrow as well. But we're definitely up for it, and coming off the back of these first three games since January. strong performances in a lot of things on the pitch. Just the goals missing, especially against United. So we are full of fuel to go into the game tomorrow.
What are your recent memories of facing Chelsea women at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah, like I just said, they come out very fast. They did that at the Emirates as well. They do score early in games, and I think there will be a big crowd tomorrow. We have 3,000 fans traveling, which is amazing. So we'll see them, we'll feel them, we'll fuel them, yeah. It's that late goal that we conceded, but it was a close game, that away game at Stamford Bridge.
Thanks. We'll come to your call now. Rose?
Hey Renee, hope you're well. I had some audio issues at the start, so maybe you've discussed it already, but we saw some pictures of Kyra back with the squad. Is she ready, or is it too soon for her?
Yeah, so she's just come back. She was in with us when we restarted in January, but then she only had 2 sessions and traveled back to Australia to see her family. And so she needs to build fitness to be ready to play games. So she won't be in the squad tomorrow.
Understandably. And also, I have a question about the 10 position. It doesn't really seem like it's being nailed down by a player at the moment. There's maybe a bit of a lack of goal contributions as well from that position. How do you...
Sorry, we lost you there, Rose.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Repeat the end of the question.
Because I don't know what you heard. So the 10 position isn't really being nailed down by any player at the moment. Well, not a particular one, at least. Also looking at the number of goal contributions from the 10 in the last couple of months. How do you see the 10 at the moment?
Yeah, so we've played different players in that position. Of course, it's been Frida, Alessia, Mariona, Vic has played in that position. I think it's a very demanding position for us. Yes, we want to produce goals and points from that position, but there's also a lot of other things that we ask from the 10. If you look at goal scoring contribution, we have a spread in the team, so we score from different positions. And we have sometimes we are forced into decisions in who plays where, and sometimes we can make decisions. So that's also a luxury position. But like I said, the 10 position is a complex, demanding position for us in the team.
Right, thank you, and good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Tim?
Hi there, Renee. Sorry if I missed it at the top as well. Can I just clarify about Emily Fox, whether she's in the squad for tomorrow?
Yeah, she'll be back in the squad tomorrow.
Okay, great. And just going back to Olivia Smith, I appreciate this is not something she's done regularly or anything like that, and you probably don't want to make a massive thing of it, but there's a member of your coaching staff I remember as a player, also called Smith, who also suffered a lot of fouls during her career, and I'm sure Kelly won't mind me saying every now and then she reacted as well. I don't know whether a conversation between the two Smiths has happened or might happen yet.
No, I'm not sure if that's happened yet. I know that Kelly missed the final, didn't she? So it's they have a really good connection, Kelly and Olivia. They tend to work closely together on the pitch with final third details. I'm not sure if they had a conversation. It would be a great conversation. I would want to sit in the room and be a fly on the wall. No, it's definitely something that where there is a moment or a situation where they could exchange, and Kelly does that all the time with our forwards and her experiences.
And just staying with the forwards, I mean, I think the thing that really defined this fixture last year was Chelsea brought, I think, 4 attackers off the bench, and I think Arsenal brought 3, and one of Chelsea's attackers goes and wins the penalty, and that kind of decides the game. Obviously, tomorrow you're really short on attacking options due to injuries and suspensions. I wonder whether that's a concern, or whether actually sometimes having that real clarity can be very helpful as well, especially in terms of your game plan.
Yeah, no, exactly like I mentioned earlier. There is clarity in even though it's been tough and especially coming off the back of the United game, it was really tough to take. And but we have clarity in where the team is at, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, who is going to do what. So that's positive. But of course, for specific games like this, if that's the situation, then it can be positive and it's good. But across a season and a longer run of games, then we need. Of course, we want everyone to be fit.
Thanks, Rene. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Excellent. Max?
Hi Renee. You mentioned there about like the performances and how against United in both games, it was almost like between the boxes, or aside from finishing, strong performances, but then couldn't put the ball in the net. Just wondered as a coach, like what your sort of process is when you're looking at a team, when your team's not finishing their chances compared to say last season where in the home games particularly scoring like 4 or 5 goals lost in a lot of games. Do you sort of look at that and go, well, finishing is just one of these things that comes and goes and there's sort of so many factors to it? Or does it kind of frustrate you and do you look at it as something that you can work on the training ground really?
I think there's always things you can control, and everything that we can't control, we try to work on. So how do we want to set things up? How do we want to structure things? But then if we are really clear on how we want to structure things and what the plans are going into games, then there needs to be freedom of decision making for players to follow their instincts as well, because I believe that if you play on intuition, especially in moments where we know there's a structure but there is chaotic moments, then you have to make quick decisions, and you do that best on intuition. So we try to find that perfect balance of giving structure and control the controllables, and then also allowing players to play on their intuition and make sure they believe in themselves, and we show that we believe in them, because we all do.
And just going back to something I was previously saying about recent games against Chelsea, and you mentioned as well that I think a bit of a theme in these recent games against Chelsea, the game earlier in the season and both games last season, was Chelsea started very fast in all those games and scored early goals in both the games at the Emirates. How important is the messaging tomorrow in terms of telling your players that they need to be sort of bang on it right from the first whistle?
Yeah, so that's a straightforward one. And I'm sure there will be messaging in their changing room as well, and how we want to play the game from start to finish. We keep that for ourselves in the changing room, and then there's a plan for them, and then we'll see how that plays. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow. The screen keeps on disappearing, so I see you, I don't see you.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
I see you.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck for tomorrow. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max. Adam?
I'm muted. Brilliant. Hi Renee, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Marvellous. So everyone's been talking about this new TV series called Heated Rivalry. I haven't seen it, but everyone's talking about it. And the other thing is, I was talking to Erin Cuthbert last weekend, and she was talking about how she always looks forward to this tie. She says she calls it a battle. She says when she comes up against Kim Little, she hates that they hate each other on the pitch, and the moment the whistle blows, they love each other at the end, and that's how it goes. And it seems to me like in the last couple of seasons, particularly this season, everything has cooled down a little bit. There used to be a lot of enmity between the head coaches, even right down to sort of shoving and stuff. And I wondered if that kind of cooling down has been something deliberate, or is it to do with the people, and also, do you welcome it?
I don't think it helps, so it's not within my personality to go and find fights down the sideline. I don't think that's going to help the game. But of course, we are winners and we want to win this game, and there's a rivalry between the two teams, and that's always going to be there. But no, in my opinion, it's not going to help the players on the pitch where it needs to happen.
So you look forward to these kind of things, don't you? Where it's more a battle of wills, I guess.
Yeah, I really look forward to it because we want to play against good teams, and it's very challenging, and we want to take challenges. So we look forward to tomorrow, and like I said, we also come off of 3 games where we had one win against Villa where we score 2 goals, but we want to go and prove ourselves because there's a lot of things that we do well, and we want to do those things really well tomorrow because we need to, because we're playing against a really, really good team. But then we also, there's high motivation for us to get things right, and doing that against Chelsea away, that's the scenario, and we take the scenario, and we want to go and win and get points.
The last quick one from me is, Chelsea rotate all the time, but the one player who seems to be undroppable at the moment is Alicia Thompson, and she played really well against Arsenal, obviously. What have you made of her? She's come into the WSL and made an instant impact, I think.
Yeah, she's done really well, of course. She has her super strength, she's very fast, and with that speed she can still create and be controlled and balanced. So she's a really, really good player, made a great impact for Chelsea, I guess, and really shown herself in the WSL, so we'll have to look up for her tomorrow.
She's hard to mark, isn't she? She's hard to mark out of the game.
Yeah, we have to find the right ways to stop her.
Okay, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. We'll just take the last one from Shudi because we're struggling a bit with the technical apparatus.
Rene, just a question for me. There's a chance, of course, that Arsenal Chelsea meet in the quarterfinals of the Champions League as well. Is that something which is factored into your preparations for this game, or something that you've had an eye out for to get a closer look at them for what might be a meeting in Europe soon?
No, this is a game in the WSL, and this is the here and now, and we go into a game tomorrow, so that's not on my mind.
Right, and just the final one, in terms of, you have a slate of games coming up across competitions, a pretty busy fixture list. What impact would a good result tomorrow have for the rest of the games coming up in terms of momentum and confidence in the team?
Yeah, always, of course, you want to build momentum, you want to win. That would be really good for us. And I think with everything that the players have done so far, how they've come back in and where we are now, and even with the adversities, they've been so good. So, we go for it. And if we are successful tomorrow, we deserved it, because everything they've put in so far has been amazing. And so we're going to go for it, of course.
Nice one, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Cheers. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.